This is cool, huh? This cool, huh? Is that cool, huh? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Say, oh, I'm missing ginger. Do I not have any more ginger? Welcome, welcome. Oh, I got a piece. Oh, it's soft though. And I need mint. Put some mint up in that giant. Put some mint up in that joint. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Man. Ginger, so, but it'll work. I got some ginger shots too. Welcome, welcome. Let me give my people a shout out. I'm making miracle juice. What's up? What's up? Bigger from Nebraska. What's going on? How are you? Oh yeah. See, they got that $1 million smile. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's 3 a.m. in Romania. Are you close to Croatia? That's where my in-laws are. That's where they live. I was thinking about moving out there, but I was like, I'd be too bored, man. What up, native? I see you. I don't drink it all at once. Mainly my family drinking more than me, to be honest. I've been drinking distilled water this week. It's been doing my body good, but get me shredded. Y'all don't know nothing about that distilled water. It's a secret, man. It's a secret. It's a secret. Hope you guys having a great Thursday. My day been super busy. I got up and went to the gym at 5:30. Worked out to about 8. Yeah. Appreciate that, Alex. It's the recipe, bro. It's all so. The recipe is all over the internet, but I will in a second as soon as more people come in. What it consists of is granny green apples. I'm using 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Have 11 granny apples. I have 4 cucumbers. I have parsley, cilantro. I have ginger, 2 lemons. I have mint, a stalk of celery, and I have 2 pineapples that's not ready, so I had to get 2 pineapples that's ready. And this is called the Miracle Juice. You could go on YouTube and Google Kali Muscle Miracle Juice. I think the one on there don't have pineapple though. So that's the only problem. Well, that's the only thing missing on that one. It's pineapple and mint. So yeah, guys, today, once again, I'll be making what I call miracle juice. I got this from Yaki Awaken initially, and I added in mint and pineapple into mine. So that's why I call it miracle juice, because everybody can remember it. What this does is it's a real astringent. So it gets all the metals. A lot of you guys got the vax and you got the booster shots and all this. It got metals in your body. It removes your body of metals. It hydrates you. And it can also assist with getting parasites out of you. I've been drinking this about 18 months now. And I love it, man. Stay high. I didn't know what hydration was until I started drinking this. So yeah, so I have this, guys. This is to facilitate with the apples, peeling it and decoring it. And this is a great tool to have if you do a lot of apples. I first got hooked on this when I was doing the apple fast. What did I do? I did 16 days of straight apples. So yeah, I love it, man. So I'm gonna pull this over a little right here so you guys get a close view. So today, welcome everybody, welcome everybody. Excuse me. So this sucks onto a table you have. Oh, I'm also using a Nama J2, guys. So we had a Nama J2 right here. I see it's on sale. Actually, they dropped that price. It's only like $500 now, which is a great price for it. I see they even have a bigger one. I'm gonna end up getting the bigger one. So it's amazing, man. I can't talk bad about them or the company. Great product, and it's been helping me with my healing process. So I love it, man. I love it. What's up, Adrian? Let's go. So here we go, guys. So today I'll be talking about my experience with jail and prison. And so, I had to go back to my childhood when I'll never forget, man. Me and my buddies, we went to, dang, it's not sticking. Me and my buddies went to this place. It's called Mexicali. Anybody from the Bay Area knows it's like the top Mexican restaurant in the Bay Area in Northern California. And so it's right across the street from downtown Oakland jailhouse. And I'll never forget, me and my two childhood friends, we went and we ate there. And right after we came out, dudes that's in jail, they was knocking on the windows with their cups. So they be on the window. Do I have a cup in here? I don't think I have a cup in here. But anyway, they be knocking on the window. The window be like this. And they be like knocking on the window. And you can hear it from the outside, right? Because they do it with a glass cup. And I'll never forget the arrogant me. Thank you for the dono. You are very inspiring. I blend beets, ginger, and celery every morning. Makes me feel great. Damn, that's sick. Your boy, TK3. Thank you for the 5, brother. So yeah, guys, they be knocking on the window. They was knocking on the window, and I looked up, and I was cocky as a kid. And I looked up like, them nothing ass motherfuckers, I ain't gonna never go to jail. And, excuse me, son got me with some type of little mucus. But anyway, so I looked up there arrogantly and called them pieces of shit and said, I ain't gonna never go to jail. And my two buddies, my two childhood friends, they was trying to, sell a little dope and shit after school. Trying to hide it from me because I was just militant and all about, being positive and church going. And they didn't say nothing. I remember it like it was yesterday. And so, bam. After that, like my problem was I was doing little crimes, I always tell you guys, and I wasn't getting caught. Just petty little stuff, so I didn't have no fear of going to jail. I didn't even think of going to jail. I had a lot of guys in my neighborhood that were going to jail and youth authority, and I just thought that they was dumb criminals. They was getting caught doing dumb stuff. So bam, for those that know me or read my book, or haven't, if you haven't, go get Ex-Con to Icon. It's on Amazon. I went to college, man, and did some dumb stuff. And so I ended up in Fresno County Jail. So I'll never forget my first day there. What happened was I had, my mother had told me to come home because I told her, I lied and said, I'll never forget, I called my mom. And I was like, Mom, these people trying to say I robbed somebody. She was like, you did it. Just so touch it. You did it. Bring your ass home. Because I was in Fresno and they lived in Oakland. And so that night, I got a Greyhound ticket and got on the Greyhound and slept all the way home. And her and my stepdad came and picked me up. And so they let me go to sleep, whatever, for a few hours. And when I woke up, it was middle of the day. And all these stories that I'm telling you guys is in my book. So if you want to have a good autobiography to read, not to be, cocky or arrogant, but my, book is it, man. And I got offers to make it a movie as well. So bam, so I get home, go to sleep for a few hours, wake up, and they ask me what happened. And I'm like, well, I tried to sugarcoat it. Well, this dude was at the ATM and, I went up and took his money. And they like, well, hey, you could go on the run. You young, you only 19. Or you could go and face what you did, man. And I was like, shit. Fuck it. Let me go back. Because I didn't think they had nothing on me. Like, I had a hoodie on and, dumb criminals, bro. Especially a young dumb criminal. That's the worst. As you guys probably see all these youngsters doing all these crimes because they don't think they go get caught. So that's the problem. Hey, everybody that's here, make sure you tap on those 3 little dots. Hit that thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I'm on a road to 4 million, man. On a road to 4 million subs. It's been, these past 2 months been great on lives, guys. Every live, I've been topping the last live. So I'm trying to make it happen today, guys. So bam. So they drive me back to Fresno. We go to the jailhouse. And it was funny when I got there. I was telling them, your police force looking for me, man. And they were like, well, we don't see nothing. I was like, oh, okay, shit, let me go out. And they were like, hold on, let us call somebody. And they called like a captain or something. And they was like, oh yeah, arrest his ass. And so they came and arrested me, and I said farewell to my mom and stepdad. And got in jail and went through the process. And I wasn't scared one bit. To be honest, like, I didn't have no fear, and that comes from me, being militant all my life, growing up in Oakland, walking around with a pistol, and I didn't have no fear, and I was swole. So I was like 10 pounds less than I am now. And so I walked up in there like everybody was nothing to me. I wasn't scared at all. And so, bam, they booked me, whatever. Took me through the process of booking. And, of course, I didn't know nobody there because I was in Fresno and I'm from Oakland. And so I just never had fear of being in new places around new people because I always felt like I was not only physically stronger, but mentally stronger than most people. So I was a cocky, kind of arrogant youngster, you know what I mean? So bam, got in Fresno County. First area I went was a dorm area. So as soon as I walked in there, like, it was a ton of youngsters, and it was mostly Mexican. It was mostly Mexican. It was some few blacks, whatever. And so when I went in, I never forget, they had the top tier was youngsters. The lower tier was more older cats. So when I walked in, like, the youngsters was already calling me up. And as soon as I got in there, they like asking me what I need and all that. And I already seen movies about prison. So I'm like, I don't need nothing, homie. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go get caught up in that. You know, it's all, most of it's myth of what we hear about jail and prison. And so, bam, I called. I think once I got booked in, I called my mom's, found out my bail was only $2,500. It was like, you know, it was nothing. Like, it would have cost me $25,000. So my bail was $20,000. And so all we had to put up was $2,000. So she was begging me, I'm gonna put up the $2,000. Nah, I'm good. I'm chilling. I was like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It felt like I was supposed to be there. Like this was in my destiny. I don't know if you guys ever felt like that about going somewhere in your life. Like it could have been like deja vu or a dream. Like for me in my life, I dream in the future. So a lot of my dreams that happen, I already dreamt about. A lot of things that happened in my life, I dreamt about it a year or 2 or 5 years ago. You know, some people call it intuition or whatever, but it's like my spirit, my soul goes in the future. So it felt like I was supposed to be there. As soon as I got in there, they labeled me as a shot caller because I was already swole. So, you know, I wasn't the best guy in jail. And so, you know, it was some, you know, they was calling on me to call shots and shit. And so if the youngsters seen anybody weak or something or went to canteen, they'd be like, let us hit they locker. Let's go get their food and all this. And, you know, I can't go in there to go against the grain. I couldn't go against the grain, man. So I'd be, let's go get his food, man. Let's go get his canteen. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I was having too much fun. And my mom was begging me to get out. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Just leave me. So anyway, we robbed 2 million people in Fresno in the little dorm setting I was in. I was too swole. I had rallied everybody up. And yeah, I was too swole. They wasn't used to that. I had everybody in my little gang working out. And so they got me up out of there. I was there about maybe a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, and they saw that I was in the wrong environment. So they sent me where all the murderers and killers were, where I should have been initially anyway. And so they sent me to a higher level in this area. Ooh, the area I went to next, it looks like San Quentin. It was like, it had your gates on it, and it's like San Quentin, those old like Alcatraz movies and shit. That's what it looked like. So I went in there programming. I was doing 1,000 push-ups a day. I had money on my books, so I was going to the store I think I was spending about $25 to $30 a week, the limit that they gave us. So I got more swole. All I was doing was eating, playing chess, and working out and reading. That's all I was doing every day, all day. And of course, you know, it's always chaos in these environments. So we be having little mini riots and, you know, it just fun. It was fun to me, bro, to be honest. So I got in another situation another little mini riot. So I thought where I was the highest level, and it wasn't. So they sent me to a higher level than what I was in. And this area looked like the new modern type prisons, like Solano, Delano, where they got the automatic doors. They open like that. So as far as the people there and me, you know, I just had that leader mentality, man. So I didn't get all the problems I was having in there was somebody else's problem. I never had problems, period, in prison or jail that were my own. It was always, you know, a race thing or just stupid shit overall. But it was nothing like I got into it with somebody one-on-one personal, or that never happened with me. Because, you know, the people that get into that type shit, they gambling, they watching TV. I didn't do none of that shit. They, main thing, they call it betting on your ass. You betting and you don't even have the money. That started a lot of riots. The phone started riots and the TV. So I wasn't into none of that. Everything, same with me on the streets or in life. Everything most people do, I do the opposite. When I was a kid, I never went to parties. Like, why the fuck I'm gonna go to a party and I'm a violent motherfucker, a hothead, and shoot somebody or get shot? It just never made sense to me, man. To this day, I don't like to be going around crowds and all that. But, so yeah, so Fresno County, I was fighting the case. So yeah, I was fighting the case. I ended up with this cellie, man, in maximum. So they had a minimum, medium, maximum. So I was in minimum first, dorm living. Then I went to medium. That's where I told y'all it looked like San Quentin with the gate doors you could see through. And then I went to maximum. Maximum is ultimately where I should have been from the get-go. That's where OGs were. They was fighting life sentences and death row. And so I had this one cellie. He was my cellie, I think my whole time. He was fighting like 10 life sentences. But man, I wish I remember his name. He was old though. I know he probably dead, but that motherfucker, he had to be like 55 and I was 19. I was like 15. No, I mean 19 and he was like 55. But anyway, that's where I knew how to play chess in junior high. But me and this motherfucker would go at it every day. He didn't let me win a game. Well, I didn't win a game of chess for like a month. And ultimately, that's how I became a master at chess. Was playing him every day for about 6 months, I think we was in there together. And so I was fortunate in this county jail because they had weights. We was able to go to the rooftop like twice a week. Yeah, it was twice a week. And so I would do, you know, my bench press curls with weights and stuff like that. But when we didn't go, I would work out. When we didn't go, I'll work out in a dorm and I would do 1,000 push-ups a day. We actually had a dip bar in our and a pull-up bar in our dorm. And so I was just getting swole, man. Like I say, I was playing chess every day, reading and working out. And eating a lot of the top run back. Well, in there I didn't eat a lot. Probably ate the 3 meals the jail gave us. And I would eat maybe 2 like little meals, snacks, whatever, top rabbit, whatever. So bam, stayed in Fresno County 9 months, lost in trial, and before I lost in trial, I became a Muslim, Al-Islam Muslim, not no nation or 5% or none of that type stuff. I was an Al-Islam Muslim. And that's similar to Christianity for people that don't know. Only thing they don't believe that Jesus was God. They believe he was a prophet, but everything else is basically the same as Christianity. Oh, and Prophet Muhammad was the chosen one. That's the only difference, really. And I was kind of rebelling against Christianity because I felt God wasn't listening to me as a Christian. So that was my way of rebelling, of going to another religion. But and it served my purpose. I loved being a part of a structured format. You know what I mean? Since I was in high school, I was football, wrestling, and track. When I went to college, I was in the fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha. So all my life been structured. And that's what I always, gravitated towards, is something that has structure. So yeah, so bam. As I was leaving county jail, Fresno County Jail, I was considered a Amir in Islam. And so that's next to being an imam. Because just me being me, I learned fast, I remembered fast, and I was straight militant and leader. So bam, I left there, left Fresno County, got on a bus, and went to Wasco. Went to Wasco State Prison. And this was, like I say, all of it for me is like a kid going to Disneyland. I ain't even lie to y'all. Thank you for the dono. Little Boat 69. You're absolutely jacked, my brother. I appreciate that, Little Boat. So yeah, we get to Wasco, and everybody wearing orange, and for me it was just like, like it's a journey. I'm on a quest. I'm learning. I'm seeing people. You can die in here. It's just, bro. To me, it was just exciting. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all, man. And so, and every day was different, man. So, bam. 90 days. I got to stay at Wasco for 90 days because that's when they do observation. You got to go to the doctor and get exams to make sure you ain't got no diseases or no mental problems before you hit main prison. So I had one of my scariest experiences at Wasco, though. Thank you, Miami-Dade Relief. I don't know what you're saying. So yeah, guys. So I had one of my scariest experiences at Wasco. So what happened was, you do your medical. So when you get there, they make sure everybody do their medical tests, physical exam, and so I had already did it. Like maybe the first month I was there. And so this setting is also, so it's like the newer style prisons. You have automatic doors where somebody in the tower can hit a button and your door will open. So it wasn't like the old school prisons. And so, bam, I had did my medical exam already. So they popped my door open one morning like, Kirkendall, you got a physical, your exam. And I'm yelling out, I already did my damn exam. Because I had a schedule by this time, y'all, when I ate. So at this time, I was consuming at least 4,000 calories a day. And I was working out like crazy. So when you're in reception, you don't come outside but like maybe 3 times a week. Other than that, you're in your cell. And so I don't even remember my cellmates back then. It was just like you going in and out. So I didn't even get really acquainted like that with people that was in reception. So anyway, so they buzzed me out to go to the medical. I'm like, bro, I already did fucking medical, bro. And that's how I talked to him back then. Like I was fearless. And so they like, well, let's go anyway, and then they'll figure it out when you get there. So bam, I went and I missed breakfast. And so, bro, like I say, I was on a schedule, an eating schedule. So I was in there starving, thought I was about to die because I missed my meal for an hour. Now I don't even eat in 24 hours. But anyway, so after about an hour, bro, I started kicking the doors. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, man, I ain't supposed to be in here. I already did my damn physical, bro. And so I kept doing that for about 10 minutes. Finally, this tall white boy CO, he opened the door. He said, you know what? I'm tired of your ass. You step on out. And so I stepped out, and he put your hands behind your back. So he made me put my hands behind my back, and this motherfucker about 6'4". So he got under my arms and pushed them up like that and ran me into a wall. Are you going to cook something or make a smoothie? So I'm making miracle juice, not a smooth juice. So thank you for the dono. So yeah, he got up under me, pushed my arms up behind my back and into the door of another. He like took me out where everybody could see, took me to a deserted area and ran me up against the door. And he talking to me like, I told you to shut the fuck up, didn't I? You shut your motherfucking mouth when I'm talking, when I tell you to do something. And bro, I just turned around, boom, clipped him, slapped him. And I was scared to death. And so at this point, like my adrenaline flowing, and you got on a one-piece jumper. So I roll my shit down, let them see I'm swole. And so I'm hopping up in the cell, pumping myself up because I know the police about to come in and whoop my ass. And but they was spooked because I was on swole. And like I say, I was like 10 pounds less than I am now. And so what they did, they came and got the CO and drug him from in front of that cell. And I'm like, it's about to go down. So I was just prepping myself mentally for, what I was about to go through, a fight with hella COs. So bam, they shut the door. And, luckily I find out later in a minute what happened, with this dude. So anyway, so they shut the door. And I'm in there scared to death, y'all. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I thought they was about to kill me. And so they come and get me. I reluctantly put my hands behind my back because, I didn't have that feeling like they was gonna be aggressive. So anyway, so I'm in Wasco is all white prison, bro. So they take me, they like, the captain want to see you. And so I'm like, shit, I'm about to go to the hole. So they walk me to the captain's office. When I get there, it's a black lady. I'm like, God is looking out for me, man. It's a black captain at an all-white prison. All white, correctional officer, prison. And so I get in there and she in like lust with my muscle. She's like, damn, boy, you buff, huh? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm blushing a little bit. Oh yeah, I work out a lot. I'm like, damn. I mean, I could have knocked her. And so she like, so tell me what happened. So I told her exactly what happened. And she like, well, today your lucky day. That white boy CO he got a lot of he got a lot of infractions against him that he been doing a lot of racist stuff. I'm like, oh man. And she like, usually you'll be in a hole with more time. But you lucked up today. She like, I see that you're about to get transferred, which is a good thing. So I'm not gonna, file nothing against you. You're lucky though. Cause if it was anybody else here, your ass be in a hole with more time. And bro, I'm like, damn. And as far as my whole prison experience, I mean, I got in riots and stuff like that, but that was my first time ever hitting the police. So I was just so thankful that God allowed me to get through that situation. So from there, I went to Delano. When I got to Delano, this is a level 3 yard. So the maximum is level 4, guys. Only level 4 I ever been to is Pelican Bay. So, and that was later years when I started going back after my 7-year prison sentence. So I went to Delano. As soon as I get there, I'm shocked. Like everybody, like happy I'm there. Like, and guys, I'm from the Bay Area, Northern California. I'm in Southern California, and people, Wes is about 6 foot. He a lot taller than me. Like, bro, you can't see his video, and that's what you worried about, how tall another man is? Fucking weirdos, bro. I ain't never been concerned with a man height in my fucking life. Fucking weirdo, bro. Anyway, so I got to Delano, and it was like everybody knew me. And I was like, what the fuck going on? So when you hit Delano back then, the main line, you got to stay in your cell for, I believe it was a week while they observe you. So as I'm in the cell, hella people come into my cell. Like, hey, youngster, we heard you like to work out, you on swole. And I didn't know how the fuck they knew, right? And so everybody wanted to work out with me when I got there. But come to find out later on, they seen my case on the news. You know, Fresno State football player gets convicted of robbery. And so they had that shit all on the news, and I didn't even realize it. So bam, I didn't want to work out. I didn't know these motherfuckers, so I told them all I work legs. So in prison back then, 99% of them motherfuckers don't work legs because they say they didn't want a big booty. Like, nigga, I don't want no big booty. I ain't working no legs. And this is factual, bro. No cap. None of them wanted to do legs. They didn't want a big booty. And so I was cool. When I got out of there, the 10-day observation, 7-day, I think it was 7-day observation. First day on the weight pile, I never forget, I got a migraine that day too. I used to get migraines real bad because I just worked out. I went crazy working out. And so finally this OG came up to me. He was the swollest on the yard. Big Ken Ellis, man. Ken was like, what's up, Beyonce? I see you on swole, man. You looking for a workout partner? And I never thought, you know how y'all see in the movies or something, like, none of that shit never popped up in my head, man. These dudes was straight gangsters. You know, it wasn't none of that sweet shit y'all see in the movies. And I'd never seen that shit in my 11 years of prison, man. Which y'all be seeing drop soap and all that shit. And so anyway, so I'm like, yeah, I do legs, homie. He like, oh, I do legs? Shit, fuck it. So me and Ken became workout partners. And Ken, let's see, I was 19. So Big Ken was about 35. Yeah, he was about 35. And so we was getting it every day in the rain, sleet, or snow, 7 days a week. And so one day after about 6 months of us training, because Ken was the swollest person I ever seen in my life, in person. So Ken was like, and back then you didn't know how big somebody was because everybody wore the jackets, wore those jean jackets. So the only way I knew how swole Big Ken was, because when we showered, it was one man shower, your partner would have to stand guard. So as he's showering, I'm standing like this in front of him. He back there, so I never knew what he looked like. And he never knew what I looked like. But he did know what I looked like. Because one day he was like, Kali, you know you bigger than me now, huh? I'm like, fuck no, big kid. And so he like, okay, the picture man is here this Saturday. Take a picture, man. Because I didn't take pictures or nothing like all my life, guys. Like the pictures I show you guys are like just so valuable to me because I didn't believe in taking pictures. I don't have many pictures as a kid or nothing. So I'm putting Ginger in there now. So Ken, like, he begged me to take pictures. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to take some pictures. So we got parsley here. I'm going to take like a pinch of that parsley. So yeah, I took the picture. And back then, y'all, it was a picture, Polaroid. Take the picture and it zooms out. That's what I showed y'all when I was 19. If I had my phone, I would show you. But y'all could Google it. Kali Muscle, 19 years old. And so, man, I took that picture because I hadn't seen myself. At this point in about a year and a half, going on 2 years. No, about a year and a half, because I was 20. I just think I just turned 20. So, bam, I seen that picture. I'm like, damn. And I never wore that jacket unless it was raining again. And I started a trend actually in prison because nobody worked out without their jacket on. No black guys, at least. All the blacks would wear their jackets, so if they got in a fight, a war, or a riot, nobody would know how big they are under their jacket. And so I started not wearing my jacket and started a little trend in prison. So bam, I stayed there and my points dropped. So I got transferred to Tehachapi State Prison. Tehachapi was lit, man. I have to say, it was like San Quentin, just not as violent. So should I do the celery first? How did I do it last time? I don't want to get it caught up. I think I'm gonna do the pineapple first. So Tehachapi was lit, man. It was just motherfucker. It was like a resort, but with violence. It was motherfuckers playing golf there. And there was a lot of lifers, but it was a level 2. Let's see, let me let y'all see that. It was a level 2 where I got transferred to, but my points were level 1. So I went to a level 2 first, stayed over there a while. They still had the weights, so it was fun. I was getting my swole on. And I knew I was just passing through, so I didn't make no friends or nothing at that motherfucker. Because I was going to the level 1 yard. Level 1 yard was a resort. That was a whole experience to actually be level 1. So bam, I stayed on level 2 maybe a month. And it was some swole foods there. That was probably Tehachapi level 2 was the swollest foods I seen. Besides, of course I was, well, they was probably even swoller than me because you had OGs there that was doing life. And so, bam, I got transferred to the level 1. The level 1 was just lit, bro. And so as soon as I got over there, my job was I was a dentist assistant. Oh, it was crazy up in there being a dentist assistant. So this setting was, it looked like I guess it was an old school army barracks. That's how I can describe it. Like it had cells, 2-man cells, but you had a key to it. Then it had a dorm as well. So when I first got there, they sent me to the dorm until a cell popped open. So I stayed in the dorm, got to know the environment, whatever. Got the dentist assistant job. So basically a clerk. And so I see some crazy shit that did this, man. Like the Indians that was there, they didn't believe in getting anesthesia. So the Indians, which I'm Indian, y'all 12% Cherokee, but the Indians, no anesthesia. And man, that dentist would have a field day. He had them hollering up in the chair, ooh, shut up. You didn't want anesthesia. And so I stayed there, but I put my name on the list to be a barber. So I was only in the dentist. I was in there maybe 2 months, and then I got my job as a barber because every prison I went to, I was a barber. Man, I got that barber job lit. It was a barber shop, double my second kitchen right here. So you had a black, Mexican, and white. And it was lit. It was like a real barber shop on the streets. Yeah, it was lit. I used to love going to work. I would work out in the morning early, like 6 a.m. Breakfast would be about 5. No, I started going to work out before breakfast, right? No, I would go to breakfast. Breakfast was about 5:36, and then I would hit the weight pile right after. And that's when I got up to 500. I got up to a 500 bench press, 500 squat. I was swole. Y'all could Google Kali Muscle at 21. I just don't have my phone, or I would show you. Kali Muscle at 21. I had dreads on swole. And no steroids, guys. Only thing I tried in there was this pre-workout. To me, to this day, well, yes, it was the best. It had ephedrine in it. It was called Ultimate Orange. Google that shit, bro. That shit was lit. Somebody just tried to bring it back, but it don't have ephedrine in it like it did back then. I had one bottle, man, and once I was out of that bottle, I had to go through caffeine withdrawals. But when I had that bottle, my bench got up to 500. Squats got up to 500. It was lit. And I had 2 workout partners. We stayed working out together for about 9 months. All 3 of us was the same age, 21. And all of us, well, my one wasn't that swole, and he was strong as us. And he had a regular physique, the strongest dude I ever knew in person. He was only like 165. At the time, I was like 200. I had got up to 200. So I was about the size I am now, just not as cut and hard as I am, because I was eating all that Top Rabbit and Honey Buzz. Just eating all this sugar, salt. I didn't know nothing about diet. And so So bam, stayed there. My points went down again. And they asked me if I wanted to transfer. I had stayed there at that time about 13 months, I want to say. So I'm like, hell yeah, I want to get close to my family so they can visit me. So I put in for San Quentin. And boy, did I make a mistake. I can't say, it was too fun, man. A lot of violence, too fun, man. So I transferred to San Quentin. Now, when I got to San Quentin, as soon as we pulled up on the bus, I was confused. I'm like, is it women here? This co-ed? Is this co-ed? And they like, nah, those punks. You know what I mean? It was already happening. So I transferred to San Quentin in 1997. Yeah, I transferred to San Quentin. So the weights was still there, but the talk was that they was going to take it because even at the other prisons, they broke it down to where you can only lift weights for an hour, and they broke the weights down to the bench press bars. You couldn't put on weight yourself. They was welded on at 165 pounds. So we found out makeshift ways of putting dumbbells on the end and all that type of stuff. So when I got to San Quentin, the word was they go take the weights. And so when I got there, man, like I say, I got to the yard. I'm like, man, what's going on? Them women? And they just trannies just walking around, bro. A lot. You know what I mean? And everybody catering to them. And I was like, I came in as a Muslim. So when I came there, I ran the Muslims at Tehachapi. When I got to Quentin, they knew, as soon as I got there, they're like, oh, a Muslim brother hitting the yard. So they came and chopped it up with me, whatever, and they basically see the knowledge you have, where your head at, and they saw I was a top dog. And so as soon as I got there, they made me a clerk. I was a Muslim clerk in the chapel. So what level did I go to first? Oh, no, I went to H unit. Wait, did I go to H unit as soon as I got there? No, so you go to North Block first. I stayed in North Block. And then I was getting transferred down to H unit. So H unit was the dorm area. Level 1, level 2. And so I had to wait in North Block, which was level 2, level 3, to get transferred down to H unit. So, I got transferred down to H unit. And H unit is wild, bro. I never experienced nothing like it. It was all about dope all day with all these motherfuckers. Everybody chasing dope. Weed, dope, pruno. It was just something I never experienced in my life. You know what I mean? So it was fast, man. It was super fast, and a lot of fights and riots and motherfuckers getting hit in their head with locks and socks. And that's why I tell people, dorm living to me was more violent than a level 4 prison because you're too wide open. You could be asleep at night, motherfucker come hit you in the head with a lock and sock. So went to H unit, and then what happened was my points was to the point where there was ranch status. Like I didn't have no points, so I was able to go down to what they call the ranch. So I went to H unit for about 90 days maybe, lived that life. Then I got transferred down to the ranch. So at the ranch, that's where your family, they could just come in and like visit you, sit down with you, bring you food and all that. But I didn't last. When I got there, they gave me the job of being on a trash truck. And so this was when El Nino, I think it was 96. 1996 El Nino was happening, and we was on the back of that trash truck. one day, and I'm like, I ain't going tomorrow. They like, you go get sent back to H unit. I'm like, I don't give a damn, bro. I ain't going back on that truck, man. So we all didn't go back on the truck, and they sent us all back to H unit. And then from there it went kind of downhill for me because what happened was I was still so when I went back to H unit, I got the job as the Muslim clerk. And I wasn't in there a few weeks, and I typed up, because I had a typewriter and shit, typed up some, are you tired of being tired, a little poem. And one of my childhood friends that was there with me put it up on all the buildings. He taped it on all the buildings. And the police came right for me because they knew the fingerprint on from the print from the typewriter. So they came and got me, took me to the hole, and got me for inciting a riot with that poem. Thank you for the dono. Big fan, King ASF. Much love, baby. So, bam. So, went to H unit. And, went to the hole. So, when I went to the hole, as soon as I got in there, man, it was something else. These people were speaking different languages. The blacks spoke only Swahili. They didn't speak no English. So when I went to the hole, it was East Block. East Block is where all the death row inmates are. So they integrate people that go to the hole with the death row inmates. So I was in there with like Richard Ramirez. Tookie Williams was still there. So I was in there with these guys. So it was just nothing I could have imagined, man. And it's, old San Quentin. So you could go on Alcatraz, look at Alcatraz, or you could Google San Quentin and they'll show you the cells, man. It's like, how can I describe it? It just looked like hell. You know what I mean? It looked like what hell would look like. And so I get up in there and I'm like, damn. I'm going to have to learn that language. And it was Swahili. It was super easy to learn. I learned it in like fluent in about 10 days. So I got in there and, I had friends in there that I went to school with, grew up with and stuff. And most of them was Kumi 415. So when I got there, all the police already thought I was in this gang, but I wasn't. I was a Muslim. So when I got to the hole, they put me on the yard with Norteños, BGF, and Kumi guys. So like I say, I grew up with most of the Kumi guys. And so they was like, man, you need to stop that Muslim shit and come with us. And I was like, man, if y'all give me a high position, I'd come on over, man. They like, oh, we get you a high position. And so, and I was upset with the Muslims because they didn't look out for me. Like, the guys that worked in the chapel with me was able to come to the hole and give me some food or books or whatever, and they didn't come. And so I was like, man, fuck them fake ass Muslims. And so I'm like, join me up, put me in this shit, man. So I became Kumi 415 in the hole. And so, super militant. We had to do burpees, like a shit ton of burpees a day. And, I never cared about working out. I would kill myself working out. I don't give a damn. I'm a machine. And so that battery went out. And so, stayed in the whole 90 days, lost about at least 30 pounds from doing all those burpees and not eating because you can't get... When you go to a hole, you can't... go to canteen for, I think it was like 45 days. They basically do that to break your ass. But luckily, there's people in there that was in the Kumi 415, whatever, that would send me some top ramen. But I just learned to portion the food they brought me that I was able to eat, because I didn't eat pork back then. I didn't eat the meat, or I didn't eat hardly nothing that the prison served. So I got sucked up a little bit, 30 pounds down. So after the 90 days, they released me back to North Block. That's where it's like level 2, level 3. That's where the lifers are. It's a better situation for a guy like me. You in a cell, you got cells all the way up, high tier. You have one cellmate, and that was the best situation for me. And so I never liked dorms because I was, it's just too much violence. You could lose your time, which I end up losing all my time at San Quentin. We had gotten a riot in 98, 99. Because I stayed there for a good amount of time, about 2.5 years. Longest I ever stayed, longest prison I stayed at. So yeah, we got in a little riot. But up until that point, man, it was just chaos. San Quentin, wherever y'all live, if you know the city where it's bad, a lot of dope deals, a lot of violence, that's how San Quentin was. And it had a rep to live up to. So I went to the hole a couple of more times at San Quentin, but the last time I went to the hole, like I said, we got in a riot. So they transferred me out to Solano State Prison. Solano is near Fairfield, California, Sacramento, in the middle of that. And when I got there, it was like I was the top dog at this point. And so as soon as I got there, everybody was spooked. They already heard I was coming. And so I had to get shit in order when I got to Solano, man. Some of the top dudes that was had the keys, that was a shot caller at the time, was doing dope and all that. So I had to come clean that up, go against a regime, as we call it. And it was like I was solo until I got these other cats on my side. So it happened fairly quick. So Solano was fairly calm. It had a dorm area. It also had the cells where they had to press the button, the automatic cells. It was a lot of tension on that yard with blacks, Serenos, and whites. And so, luckily I came with a level head, because the guy that was before me ended up being a good friend of mine, and his birthday was on the same day. We had the same birthday, but he was into that heroin. And so I don't know if you guys know, but back in the prison back then, they had a Visine bottle, and these dudes would get heroin like tar. And they'd just get some hot water and twirl it and let it dilute in the water, and they'd be snorting it like that in a Visine bottle. And so, I had to go in there, clean it up, man. And so, bam, what happened? So I was there for about a year, and little mini riots was happening and shit. When I was there, I was a porter. So they didn't have no barber position there. So I was a porter. And then my points dropped again. I went to the level 2 yard of Solano. And that's where I ultimately paroled from. Over there, it wasn't no violence. Everybody minding business. I had a good workout partner. And all I had to focus on at this point, it was like, I went over there. I had a year left, maybe under a year left to go home. And so over there, it was more laid back. Less violence, hardly none the whole time I was there. Just working out, and wasn't a lot of politics. And so I paroled from there, man. Paroled from Solano, level 2 yard, man. But ultimately, man, when I look back on all that, man, it was a wild ride, man. And at that point in my life, I was super young, so it was more fun and adventurous, and just figuring out life. And, you had to, like me, it helped me with psychology of people, to know the minds of people, especially, bad people. So it's wild, man, to think that I went from saying I was to never go to prison to doing 7 years straight. Then after that, I went back 4 more times, guys. I loved it so much, I went back 4 more times. That's how I did a total of 11 years. But man, much love to everybody. Thank you guys for hearing me rant. These live streams are therapeutic for me, man. It feels good to talk about this stuff, believe it or not, because I never, really talked about it. When I wrote my book, that was the only time that I really talked about things like this. But yeah, so I appreciate you guys, man. Make sure if you're not subscribed, you hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you Sunday, man. God bless. Stay positive. Just know, man, whatever your perspective of, and let's see, thanks for letting us in on your experience. For sure, Lee. Much love. Thank you for that. Just know this, guys. Whatever you see the world as, that's what you are. Or what you are, that's what the world is. So you are a mirror. Keep up the streams, brother. For sure, bro. I appreciate that, DF. So however you see the world and however you see life, that's what it's going to be. If you think negative, you going to be like everybody against you, the government, your city, your mom. If you think like that, it's going to be like that. But if you change your mentality and your perception, that's what life would be, man. Take it from me, bro. Like, after my brother unalived himself, I went dark. I started questioning God and all. And so if I had a mentor or somebody older to talk to me how I'm talking to you guys, I would have understood life more, and I've been able to navigate it better, man. So, think of yourself highly. Put yourself, in a position to be great. And how you do that is first what you put in your body. That's why I show you guys juicing and cleansing yourself. You gotta get rid of all the poison, because that's of the devil, bro. Any poison you putting in your body. Then you gotta exercise. When you exercise, you are one with God. All right? Just know that. Then you gotta put yourself in a spiritual realm, because that's going to bring all the success, right? Because being rich and wealthy is spiritual, guys. So you got to be in tune with all of this. So much love, y'all. God bless. I'll see you on the next one.